Hello and welcome everybody to another edition of Midweek Matters. James Graham joined by Charlie White.
Jimmy Graham, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Let's just do it.
What? Let's do what?
Let's just fucking...
Let's just fucking have it.
Yeah.
Well, what's your problem? Your problem with me is that I got you a cookie and a coffee, and I gave you your coffee before your cookie.
Look, first off, this is the worst thing you've ever done to me. So that is saying something. Like
That just shows how good a bloke I am to you,
does
actually.
show how a good bloke you are.
Yeah.
But I do like to analyse things and perhaps overanalyse things, view society and life in probably a different way, which I'm not ashamed of.
Yeah, you're a maverick.
No, I'm just me.
No, but you're just you, but you're a maverick, you know. You do things differently.
An outlier, I think.
An outlier. Yeah.
And if something bugs you probably best say it because, so for our listeners, we're a real football focused show here, but so Charlie and I work at Triple M. Charlie very kindly said, would anyone like some food?
First lie. I didn't. You said, we just literally started the show and you're like, can we get some food? I'm like, actually, you didn't say can we get some food. He's like, can I get a coffee? You just walked into the studio. Hey, mate, how are you? Yeah, I can get you a coffee.
No, because I'd already had a coffee, so you're lying.
Well, you didn't get food. You just got a coffee.
Yeah, because I'd already got food.
Exactly. You just said you already got a coffee. Check.
I'd had one on the way. Yeah. So I was going to wait until like 1 o'clock.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So anyway, you're getting lost in the weeds here.
Yeah.
So you've kindly gone to get, I said, can you get me a cookie as well? I'd really like a coffee.
Which I thought was a strange request as well. Like, can you get me a coffee and a cookie? First of all, you order an almond, flat white, extra hot.
No, it's not extra hot.
Yes, it is. You asked for extra hot because you worry about the temperature of food and stuff. So you're like, Charlie, can you get me Charlie, do you mind getting me an almond flat white, extra hot? Like,
I don't sound like that.
When you did on Sunday, for some reason, that was sort of a tone of your voice. It was a bit strange, out of character for you. You did that, and then you go, a little biscuit as well would be nice.
No, I didn't. I said,
a little bicky.
No, I said, can I get a cookie or a muffin? And you went, a pastry. I said, no, not a pastry, because that's not a pastry, is it?
Yeah.
A cookie or a muffin. Yeah. Very different to like a croissant. So
I think from memory said, I've got a little sweet tooth and my little sweet tooth needs a sweet tooth treat.
No, I did not say that. So I put in a request, I'm not asking you to go above and beyond, but you've also took some of the other boys' food order.
I have, yeah.
And then, so you come back about 5 minutes later with the coffee. And I'm like, where's the cookie? And you said, well, that's with the food order. I'm like, well, where's the food order? They said, there's a 10-minute wait on food. I'm like, well, why would you bring me a coffee without the cookie? They're like...
Do you realise that that's diva behaviour?
No,
I need an almond flat white.
It's not diva behaviour.
I need an almond flat white. I need my coffee cookie with it on the side. You know, Dan Ganane on Sunday, he coined... It's the best term I've ever heard you described as Liverpool Larry David. Because that's what you are, mate. You're Liverpool Larry David. I
wear that as a badge of honour.
Yeah, hey.
I wear that as a badge of honour.
Yeah. It also means you're precious. Larry David's precious.
No, he calls things out to what they
but he's
are.
also precious and needs things to go a certain
He's
way or he
not
loses
precious.
his head. You lost your head about the biscuit.
I didn't lose my head.
You did. You said, what is going on? You had a minor blow up over getting a cookie about 5 minutes after your coffee
It wasn't
arrived.
5 minutes
and also,
after.
mate, you don't need to drink your coffee at the record pace you're drinking it. You get it extra hot already.
I don't.
So you don't need to just scull it. You scull your coffee.
But it's designed to be drunk.
You could have kept the coffee on the side, popped it in the microwave if you need to, give it a little buzz.
Mate, I've done a barista course, all right? You don't be putting coffee in the microwave.
Of course, yeah. Because am I right in saying you only have barista almond milk as well? If it's not that barista almond milk, you don't have that. That's right.
Makes a difference.
Jimmy Graham.
Detail.
What we do need to announce our live show as well.
You can hear more drivel like this.
Well, you'll have some Origin legends alongside you, and it's going to be great. It's going to be at the Lord Alfred Hotel. We've really pumped for it. Love doing those
before
live
Origin
shows.
3, yeah?
Correct.
Yeah.
Game
day. Same giveaway style as the Magic Crown, the live show. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Got some Origin legends joining us.
Yeah.
You'll probably want to put it out there now, but
I'm happy to say one of them, the great Gordon Tallis, will be there. Yeah. Gordy. Brisbane royalty, he'll be there.
that will be fun.
He took your job in 360 and we're bringing him along to the live show.
Okay.
And it's going to be great. Yeah, there's an Instagram post online.
You cretin.
There's a Instagram post online. Just go in, comment on that. You're in the running to
What have they got to do?
It's
What have
basically
they?
just predict the
what have they
scoreline.
gotta
Just got to
do?
predict the scoreline.
Just predict the score.
Predict the scoreline,
Even of Origins, the game 3.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to be right.
Obviously
it's not
'cause
closest
it's-
wins. Yeah.
We're going to ask you to predict the score of game 3 before game 3 happens.
Yeah.
And if you predict it, you get an invite.
Food and drinks included as well. Don't forget that. That's always a great part.
Yes,
of it.
the fans last time had an absolute ball.
Yeah, it is good fun. Wade Graham may be in attendance again. For anyone who came to the live show, Wade Graham was
Best on ground.
best on ground.
Yeah,
Best on ground at the live show, despite not being part of the panel. Yeah, she chimed in with a couple of questions.
I don't recall him commenting on the Instagram post.
he didn't.
He freeloaded his way in, snuck past the security team, got fake tickets.
Yeah.
Well done, Wade Graham.
And we can bag it as
That's
much as we want right now because he's not going to hear it because he's at the Mick Fanning Golf Day this weekend. So he's not going to be listening to any podcast. So fucking bag Wade Graham away.
Slag him off.
Yeah.
Freeloader.
Drunk.
Heckler. He did provide some great questions, though.
He did, yeah. He did.
So he made up for it.
So jump on because we'd love you to be there. It's going to be awesome.
It will be great. I really enjoyed the live shows. Get to meet some of our fans and it's just nice to sort of be present with them. You know what? It's the most nervous I get for anything because that audience, you sort of shit yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Like obviously we do this pretty often and we have to discuss some big topics, which is fine. But when there's people there, you're like,
it's different gravy, isn't it?
Don't want to mess up in front of this live audience.
I just had to welcome you guys in, and I felt very nervous for doing that as well. And it was just, hey guys, welcome in everybody. That's all I had to say. And we're also trying to. So this is another live show in Brisbane. We are trying to sort a live show in Sydney for during the final. So
we will sort that.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun as well. So, but we love coming up to Brisbane as well because we're here in Sydney. So it'll be good fun. But obviously, our man Brandon Smith, we should probably talk about that off the top. He came in here on Monday, spoke about his breach notice, and unfortunately, he has been dropped for the game this weekend.
Yeah, look good on Cheese for coming on and I guess not facing the music, but putting his side of the story across. He didn't know at the time whether or not he would play this week. The Roosters have made a call to not pick him this week, as a form of punishment. It's interesting. I was thinking about this and the difference between players being late and different punishments, and one of those is in the news from the time at Canterbury. It was late and because it was a wrestling session. Allegedly was given a punishment of extra training, as one may could put it. Hard training, absolutely.
Yeah.
But fundamentally extra training that is a commonplace drill. No one likes to do that. I think being dropped hurts you more. Like, this really hurts. And, Brandon spoke about he didn't like the fact that he felt he let people down. And when you don't get to play, that makes it even worse. Like, you feel like you're letting people down. Now, obviously, Connor Watson comes in and the Roosters will be okay, but it's a strong message. And that's the standards that they're setting. And at different points in time, clubs treat players being late differently, some more severe than that. And I guess it's about because and I have seen it where players and the big name players as well have things get swept under the carpet, and it's the bigger the better the player, the more sort of lead they get. But obviously the Roosters they're not going to accept this no matter the player. They've got standards to adhere to. So I is it harsh? Some may think it is, but it's their way of operating. Now, this incident could bring the Roosters closer together. There's been a lot of talk in the media, a lot of rumor, a lot of innuendo, speculation. Some of the people in the passing make comment, and look, it sort of comes with the territory. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. No, it's sometimes that can get in the way of things like this. But the Roosters have said, this is how we're going to deal with it. And hopefully Brandon responds. And in terms of this, because of all the outside noise around this, this was the point I was trying to make, where this could bring the Roosters closer together and say, look, they all want to derail the season here. They, as in the media, the outside noise wants to derail us. let's get together because it's a huge season for them with Kiri, Jared, Suolihi, Manu all moving on. You know, there's already enough storylines there, but it could be an us against them mentality.
Yeah, for sure. The Cheese copped a lot of criticism on like the YouTube he posts where he got a lot of hate. People talking about him doing this podcast. What's he doing this podcast when he's a footy player? I'll tell you what, if footy players can't go sit down in the room and talk about footy for 45 minutes once a week, and that's going to derail their footy career, you're kidding yourself as a fan if that's what you think, in all honesty.
Like, look, you know what, Charlie? I understand some of the fans' perspective in terms of, like, they can't see how someone could allocate that amount of time. I can remember, no joke, being at Coles, and someone being like, shouldn't you be training? And they weren't fucking around. They were being serious. It was like a day off. And they were like, should you not be a trainer? I was like, I'm just doing grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Like, and that's happened on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
And not even at like a cafe or just mooching around. It's like, I'm doing the shopping.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and I guess even, you know, another example would be the criticism of Benji for going away.
Yeah.
Like an extended overseas holiday. Like I think that is probably a bit too much, but like having 45 minutes to come here and talk football.
Yeah, it's talking the game as well. He's playing.
Yeah,
like it's not like we asked Cheese to prepare extensively for the show. It's like, mate, we rock up, we'll talk about footy. It's all good. Like, and he's a really good bloke and he's a nice guy. He's a humble kid from New Zealand. At the end of the day, like he's the person people see on the cameras. He's a pretty shy guy. Like, he's a good bloke. We love having him here. And
yeah, we do. And let's not forget, he's come out of the Melbourne Storm system.
Yeah,
and yeah, he got in trouble down there, but we don't need to go into that. But like fundamentally, like he worked with Craig Bellamy, and the reason he left, it was him and Harry Grant.
Yeah,
like it wasn't like he was kicked out of Melbourne.
No,
they couldn't accommodate Grant and Brandon.
Yeah,
like it's as simple as that. They couldn't.
And he's a world-class player. Like he's the Kiwi hooker at the end of the day. And even if it doesn't work out, the Roosters, there's going to be a ton of clubs lining up for him. But I hope it does work out at the Roosters because I think he can turn it around there.
Well, if he is going to go, if he's just got to stay around this area.
Has to stay in Sydney.
I don't even know, but I don't even know if we can give him the reign to go to all Sydney clubs.
Yeah, like Penrith, put a line through there because that's going to be a trek getting him here. Para's pretty quick now. M4 tunnel into the city, 30 minutes.
Mate, you give them free advertisement to the tunnel. They pay for their ads. One of the most bizarre things.
Yeah.
On the radio the other day, there was an advert for West Connects.
Well, it is privatised, so the government don't actually own the tolls. Like
I don't need an advert for which way to go. My head's over the.
I'll tell you what though, we'll give him free advertising now. It's pretty good. You go on that M4 tunnel, you get out to Homebush in like 20 minutes now from the city if you go into a game there. So the M4 tunnel, it's changed Sydney as we know it.
Look, could he sign for the Dragons? Yeah, maybe.
Ooh, I don't know.
Not the Gong though. He'd have to be one of the.
Yeah, he'd have to be on the Cobra side of it. Yeah. Bunnies is the perfect sort of.
Bunnies would be perfect.
Yeah, Bunnies would be
Cookie
perfect.
Could be going.
Yeah.
There we go.
Wayne Better gets the best out of Cheese.
Yeah.
It's another one of those, another chapter in the Book of Feuds. But yeah, hopefully he just stays the Roosters.
Hopefully. Well, I think he will. Like, obviously, we are joking in case anybody takes that out of context.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of fan interaction and like someone not challenging me, but like questioning me at the supermarket, you know, like, you give your time for fans, and I genuinely enjoy the interaction because I think it makes a difference, and it's just about being a decent person because, you know, they love what we do here on the Buy Round and from a previous life in football. But I had to knock back a photo the other day.
Why?
Because I was running.
Oh, you mid-running, asked for a photo.
Mid-run.
That's
right. I was like, talk about like Liverpool's Larry David moment. I'm like running. I can see this geezer and he's like, hey, Jimmy. Like, and I'm about 10, 15 meters away. He's like, you get a photo? I was like, mate, I'm running here. Like, sorry. Like, I ran off and then I don't think I was running with the headset in, but it probably consumed my thoughts for like the next 15. Actually, no, for like probably the rest of the run. Like, what? what's he doing?
It's funny you bring that up because it's always the do you stop or not when you're running. You know, when you see someone you know, sometimes it feels like, am I meant to stop here? Or like, they look at you as if you should stop. And you're like, no, I'm running. Like, I don't want to stop. You know, I'm not someone to track my time sort of a person. But sometimes I feel guilty about not stopping. Do I stop?
I don't think that's a stop and chat moment. This is a Larry David thing about who you stop and chat to. Yeah. Some people, mate, the school drop off, like there's no. Sometimes it's all situation because the situation matters and situation dependent. I don't know if you can be stopping and chatting to everyone, otherwise you never get things done. Like sometimes you know, and no one takes offense for not. Sure, mate, for you there, like if I saw you and you're running and you don't stop and chat. Like it's gone.
Yeah, I wouldn't want you to stop and chat. Like I think it's just like you're running. I would understand it, but some people look at you as if like, oh, and then I almost have to. I sometimes explain. Like I've explained myself for just running. I see you. Like like because like they pause in their tracks.
Yeah, they stop.
They stop in their tracks. Like, well, I'm not stopping in my tracks.
They're obviously not runners.
Yeah,
it's a non-runner action because any runner would know. Like you ain't breaking stride for a stop and chat.
Speaking of the Liverpool Larry David as well.
Go on.
What do you think of the chat and cut? That's one of my favourite things in Larry David because I love
jumping in a line,
chat and cut.
Yeah, I've seen it in action, or the old play dumb.
Yeah,
I was at Vivid on Saturday, and we're getting some ice cream after it. One of the ice cream stores, there's like 3 sort of places you can get it, and there's sort of like a little bit of like confusion around which is the line versus not the line.
Bit of no man's land was there.
Yeah, there's just a little bit of like there was no system in place.
Yeah.
So look, I prefer a system. Here's the orderly queue. It was a bit of a free for all. No one really knew, and I saw some people just like the play dumb.
Yeah.
The chat and cut. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But the whole like. Yeah. Oh, I'm just here conveniently at the front. All these people are lining up.
Yeah.
Oh, but for that till, but there's a shorter one here.
Yeah.
It's like I know what you're doing.
Yeah. It's like when you do it at the bar as well. Like I'm the kind of bloke that if I get to the bar and a bartender comes to me first, I say, nah, that person's there first. But a lot of people don't.
Yeah,
and it can annoy you as well. I've verbalized my annoyance. I'm like, mate, clearly I was here first.
Or you just go, nah, you go.
Yeah.
You go, mate. Yeah, you go.
Oh, I've actually done actually I was here first before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We should talk some rugby league.
We should talk some rugby league.
There is heaps of drama this weekend with State of Origin. So many places for New South Wales up for grabs. Great news for New South Wales is that Dylan Edwards has been named, Cam Murray's been named, Olakau'atu's been named. They're all going to be back with a chance.
I forgot Cam Murray's back.
Cam Murray's back. The big one let's start with that is Mitchell Moses, Nico Hines. I saw Ryan Hoffman come out and heavily defend Nico Hines, and he made some really good points that Nico hasn't had a proper chance in Origin because one was playing in the centres for 11 minutes or whatever it was, and the other one, as a halfback, when you get down to 12 men, everything changes.
Well, he's right. He's 100% correct. But this is cutthroat and this is must win. So there's no room for sentiment or we're just going to give you a chance. That's not what it's about. It's about getting a win. And I really like Nico and what he does on a football field. But I need to know what Michael Maguire was thinking before. Because if you around the traps, there is the notion that Moses was the first choice after Cleary went down.
Yeah.
Because of his kicking game. So then it brings the question, could Nico play 6? Because again, there was talk of Cody Walker coming in, but Luai performed really well. But again, how do you judge Luai's performance against 12? But he's been really good for Penrith. So I don't know. You've got to imagine that Maguire's going to pick the best team to perform his game plan at the best of their ability, which I think, again, based off what I've seen and trying to piece that together, I think he'll pick Moses. I don't know that if that's necessarily what I would do, but I think he will pick Moses. I think probably wouldn't want to pick Latrell, but I think he's gonna. I think he needs him now. Where it's that plan. There's the plan, but it's like, oh no, I need this outlier, this game breaker, this person that Queensland would be fearful of. So I think that's going to happen. The Cam Murray one is interesting. That's like a massive spanner in the works. Like, how ready is he for Origin? It's been a long time. Where does he fit in this team of, you've got Isaiah on the bench, you've got Cam McInnes starting, you've got
Hudson Young played, Olakawatu played. Mate, I think the thing about Cam Murray is if Liam Martin's no good, he just takes his spot on the edge.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
But then if Liam Martin's fit, even if there's a question marks over Cam Murray, you could get 30 minutes out of him. Like, he could play the Hudson Young role.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably comes in for Hudson Young, and maybe at a push that sort of covers the utility in terms of he would cover centre, and then all those moving parts.
Do you not think Matt Burton needs to be picked?
Again, that's something I would do. But I've watched Matt Burton closer, and I like him for maybe reasons I don't know if Maguire would like. Maguire's maybe Maguire's looking for different things.
Yeah.
Maguire's looking for things in his players that us as commentators and pundits are aware of, but not like focusing on. And he's looking for things that certainly the fans aren't particularly focusing on.
One thing apparently he is focusing on is that he wants Latrell to come to him and say he wants to play. Which, like, who gives a fuck? Just go and pick him if he's the best player. Like, why does he need to come and say, I want to play for New South Wales? Like, clearly Latrell Mitchell would want to play for New South Wales. Clearly he wants to play this game. Otherwise, like, you can just see the level of intensity he's been playing with. Like last week, for example. He's focusing and he wants to get that centre jersey for game 2. Why does he have to come and say, oh, Maguire, I really want to play. I really want to get in there. Why does he need to do that?
Yeah, I don't think he needs to put it on the line like that, because I think the coach has to initiate that conversation if he wants him to play. I really do. I think that's the coach to say, like, I want you to play, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently they're at the same event on Saturday, like some charity event or whatever it is. Michael Maguire and Latrell Mitchell are there. So maybe they can have a chat there.
Maybe.
The other big one, Dylan Edwards.
Look, again, it's unfortunate for Teddy, but he comes in because he was picked in game 1.
Yeah. That is a lot of changes, though, then for New South Wales. It's like 4 changes they're going to be making.
So one of them forced in Suolihi.
Yep. Then you've got Nico Hines, Dylan Edwards, and then potentially Cam Murray coming in for either an injured Liam Martin or a Hudson Young.
It's 4 changes, Charlie, but, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Who you like for game 2?
Look, I really hope New South Wales win.
Yeah.
Like, really hope they win. Like, not because I live here, but it's because I want that game 3 to go to a decider. It will be so deflating if it's not.
Yeah, it sucks. It was a dead rubber last year.
Yeah.
And it just takes the air out of everything.
No doubt I'll get heat for saying it shouldn't be played if it is a dead rubber. But we'll cross that bridge if and when we get there. Well, I will present the case for why they shouldn't happen.
Just to some transfer news. First of all, Tavita Pangai Jr. has signed with the Dolphins. He didn't get named this weekend because of a hamstring injury. He obviously came in here, Pangai Jr., and he was pumped about his boxing career, and it hasn't worked out for him. He's chosen to come back to rugby league, but it's not a bad sign for Dolphins for back half of the year.
Yeah, especially with Flegler.
Yeah.
Like Flegler being out for the year, and we spoke about it on Jam and Cheese about, his career could be done, which would be devastating for the individual, but from a club point of view, they get Pangai Jr. for 6 months. Look, I'm surprised the boxing career was as short-lived as what it was, but he's back doing what he loves. Well, he's back doing what we've seen him be at the top end of the ability chart at.
Yeah, and then the other one, David Armstrong, who has burst onto the scene at the Knights. He looks like he's going to be a great player, but the Lee Leopards, have managed to get him.
Have they got him? Or
well, apparently he's asked for release. Apparently Knight's going to give it to him. That's what I was reading today.
I don't understand this.
Yeah, well, because he committed, but then that's that cooling off period, so he can easily.
Yeah, but I don't understand why he'd want to. Like, he looks like he's got a pathway to first team there by playing on the wing. Does he, though? Well, I think they were going to move him to the wing.
Okay. Small body to play on the wing, though.
Yeah, he is, true. But, yeah, I don't know.
He looks like he's an NRL level fullback.
Well, he does, Charlie, but there's a load of those as well. Like, is the person that came in for him Sharp?
Yeah, he was
pretty good.
Yeah.
Trey Fuller, like, just fullback is insane. Like, even, you know what? We talk about, like, these great fullbacks and we talk them up, and then you actually if you put the top list, we've got, like, players, the 11th ranked fullback is like, oh,
yeah,
he's good.
Well,
like he's real. He's a game breaker. Like, so in terms, I'm just surprised to see him go after such a short stint. Maybe the plan is to go and then come back. We've seen plenty of players do that, but
just on that fullback stuff, like even you think about Connor Tracy, probably at the start of the year. I mean, he wasn't even playing fullback at the start of the year, but on paper you would say, oh, he's probably one of the bottom 4 fullbacks. But the influence he's having on Canterbury is very immense.
Good. Yeah. The fullback position is very. The competition for spots and like the name your top 5, top 10, it's incredible. Hey, just quickly on while we're talking fullbacks and Origin, or we were talking Origin before. I don't know what. I was like, oh, what will Queensland do if Walsh is out? But obviously, then they've got the hammer. But I just don't know if it's a big risk to play Walsh.
I think they'll pick him.
That was a bad knockout. Like, he was unconscious for a long time.
But then he was up and about post game,
it's just not.
But I mean, like, it's 11 days. It's going to be past 11 days. It's going to be well past 11 days.
He's going to be motivated.
They're going
to
camp
play.
early.
Yeah. He's going to be motivated to play, and I get it. But I just hope he's honest with himself. That's all. Sorry, all he needs to be is just be honest with himself. That's all he needs to do.
Yeah.
Because it was brutal, and difficult to watch. But yeah, because I was like, oh, maybe AJ Brimson just looked. He's not playing this week. He's still injured.
Yeah.
But then of course they got the hammer.
They got the hammer. Cobber goes into centres. Yeah. It's like, and the hammer was elite. He got a hat trick. Hammer probably should have got man of the match. I think he deserved it over DCE personally. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Like, he was unbelievable. And also the fact that he shifted positions and then pulled off that performance was great. Just back to the doggies. I know we're jumping around a little bit. I love how good's the commentary box footage that the doggies shared of you just going ballistic.
Someone said, I didn't scream. It was a silent scream because obviously I'm commentating and I'm trying to be impartial. I actually thought I was quite impartial in that game. I thought Parramatta should have had a try. I said that Parramatta should have had a try
when
it went
the strip should have been a strip,
and the
strip
as well. And they should have got that right. I thought they got the referees got Parramatta on 2 big plays.
Yeah.
So I'm not like that biased.
You hammered the ref a couple of times though as well for doggies things.
Oh mate, there was a couple of times like Para were offside, but it come to the end. But I had the silent scream like.
It's a tough period though for the Dogs now. After this bye, there's a lot of positivity, but their run home's tough. If they're going to make their finals, they're going to deserve to make the finals.
Absolutely. Well, we've got the mid-season review show coming up, so I'll dissect that Sunday for everybody listening. Mate, it's the first time in a long time I've felt like a fan.
Yeah,
and I think the fact that there was 45,000 people there, it brings out the best in the players, and it also brings out the best in the fans because, like. Yeah, I reckon if that game's like 15,000 and it's the same product, no one's like, it's like, oh, that's great. But like that moment, because of the people there and the atmosphere, it was like
Dogs fans are some of the best. They are some of the best. You know, we've been doing the Macca's McSmart play of the week. There was a great moment, actually, a Macca's McSmart play, because P1 was a mess leaving that game.
Yeah.
And everyone was just trying to come in, and there was like 4 or 5 Doggies fans, probably about early 20s, got out and just started navigating traffic. We're stopping people on the ramp, funneling people down. And they just made it seamless to get out. They turned what probably would have taken an hour and a half to get out of P1 into about a 20-minute job.
That's sort of Larry David behaviour. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go and deal with this. Maybe the Lebanon Larry David.
The Lebanon
I'm
Larry
the
David.
Liverpool
Yeah,
Larry
there's a
David.
few Lebanon
Larry David.
Yeah.
Not that all Bulldogs fans are Lebanese
No.
background. Of course, we're
Doggies
very
fans are some of the best, though. The atmosphere they created, unbelievable.
It was great.
To Union, though, because the Titans have signed Carter Gordon, which I don't know many Wallabies players, but I do know his name. He's like he was their pin-up boy for a little bit. He was kind of their hope at fly half. Eddie Jones, he was the only fly half picked really for the Wallabies squad at the World Cup.
Huge news.
Could be it could be a great signing.
Just trying to think where he's going to fit in and play there.
We'll probably play halfback, won't he? You got Kieran Four at 5'8", and then he'll play halfback.
Yeah, he will. He'll be their 7.
Yeah.
That's a huge signing. We've got that Mark guy coming to the Warriors as well.
Yeah.
Can't pronounce his surname just yet.
Now Tagatizia.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
Yeah, something like that. We'll get that one learned for next season when he plays. But yeah, big news that 2 of the current Wallabies are coming over to this sport. That just shows the level of attraction and fascination for all athletes in Australia that want to come and play our game. Obviously, there's multiple competition sports that in terms where we've got AFL, Rugby League, Rugby Union, but those that are choosing the league, it's great for the game, great for business. And also go across the pond, the Super Rugby semi-final this week, 2 Kiwi teams. They've actually moved the kick-off, so it doesn't clash with the Warriors game this week.
Yeah, that's fascinating. That's all Kiwi semi-final as well.
Yeah, all Kiwi semi-final.
Yeah.
So you'd think that would take over, but they've gone. The networks have said, "Well, no, let's get them both."
Yeah,
and the only one that can move is the Rugby Union one. So
they've got to seize this moment in the NRL.
Yeah,
because that is such a huge area for growth over in New Zealand. I saw the Warriors coach Andrew Webster come and say they don't want another team over in New Zealand, which is obviously they're just trying to protect their own interests with the New Zealand Warriors. But mate, having another Kiwi team there and the rivalry you could create, it would just be so good.
It would be, yeah. I don't know if he means that, because I think a rivalry between the two, like a derby between the 2 New Zealand teams, would be next level.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's a huge country, and I think there's room for it to have another team there. And like you say, we're in this period now where the game is buzzing over there. So, yeah, they do need to act. I think they've been one of the favourites for team 19 or 20. But should we get stuck into the round preview?
Let's do it. First game, Sharks Dolphins. Nico Hines, as we said, he returns, and the big thing there is Trindle and Nico are going to partner in the halves. Obviously, Atkinson drops out. Did a great job, but they've gone back to that original halves pairing.
Yeah, you can sort of see why. We know why. So, top 4 clash.
Yeah, well, it is.
Not many people would have predicted that, but nah, Sharks will get the win for me. I think it'll be comfortable as well.
Cool. Friday night, then the Raiders against the Cowboys. Obviously, Cowboys need the win. Going down to Canberra, it's always a tough place to go and win.
Mate, I'm pickled about this one. I'm going to go the Cowboys.
Okay.
I'm going to go the Cowboys. I think they've got the bye next week, and they're going to lose all their Origin players. And I think they know that they need to win against a team that's in the mix with them. Cowboys are a strange team in terms of their draw. Like, haven't had a bye yet. So they're 7 from 7. So they're not going as bad as everyone thinks. They've still won the same number of games as the Dolphins that sit 4th.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've lost 2 more, those 2 extra games that they've played. But
8 degrees in Canberra, Tony says. Cold night. That is going to favour the Raiders.
There's a little violin. Try playing in the snow.
Yeah. Well, we're in Australia, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, actually, when you think about maybe for the Cowboys, that is a little bit different because they come from 24 degrees today in Townsville to 8. Yeah, I mean, look. Don't mention the cold.
You know what, though? You say the Cowboys aren't going as bad as everyone thinks. Just looking at the teams they've beaten, it's a pretty average group of teams that they've got the wins against. They're beating the shit teams, but I know they got the win against the Roosters a couple of weeks ago, which was a good win, but the Roosters were off that day. They were off.
Yeah.
And
I'm sticking with it. I'm gonna back the Cowboys.
I think the Canberra Raiders win and win big.
All right.
We shall see.
I know you're right, but I'm backing the Cowboys.
Friday night, the second game, then the Bunnies at home to the Broncos. Massive game for Latrell Mitchell. I think the Bunnies are a chance here.
So do I. And I don't even know why. Because the Broncos probably been off. Nah, you know what? The Broncos. Where's it at?
When you say you don't know why, it could be because Reece Walsh is out, Adam Reynolds is out. It just is a completely different team.
Nah, Broncos win.
Broncos win?
Yeah, Broncos win, mate.
I think the Bunnies get the win. Cody Walker's been going well. Latrell Mitchell's starting to find some form. Jack Whiten's moved into the halves, and I reckon...
Stop trying to make me change my mind. Because I had the Raiders, Cowboys, and Bunnies, Broncos. That's not going to go the way you think it is. One of those.
It's two. Close on the betting on Ladbrokes. $2.40 at the Bunnies.
One of those two is the favourite won't win.
Yeah. Of the Raiders, yeah.
Raiders, Cowboys, and Rabbitohs, Broncos.
Yeah. Both good games. Saturday afternoon, then, the Tigers at home to the Titans at Leichhardt Oval. Saturday afternoon footy at Leichhardt Oval. They really need to play more games at Leichhardt. It's close, though, this one. Could go either way. I think the Titans probably will have too much, though.
I think the Tigers will win.
Okay.
This is their big all-in push for a victory. It has to be, because, look, the Titans were poor last week. They've been up for about 7-8 weeks, the Titans, ever since they went to Canberra, and it was a close loss. Every game's been close. They fell off the cliff last week. They'll get back up. But I think the Tigers, this is the most winnable game that they've got for the rest of the season. Now, I know that's an early shout, but they've got to win.
Yeah.
And they're at Leichhardt. I think Appy's playing in the half.
He is. He's gone to halfback.
So, be interesting to see how that goes. And then De Silva, who's a good player. I like De Silva at a dummy half. He's very quick, very dynamic. Yeah, Tigers they've just got to win, mate. It's as simple as that.
Adam Dewey's not far away. I don't know if you saw his comments. He was on Triple M Drive on the rush hour, and he basically said he seems fired up about this return. He's obviously been out of the game for a while, but he basically said that anyone who's not meeting the standards can go play reserve grade about his teammates. So I think he's coming back with a point to prove. I think
I like that.
Yeah.
Kind of need someone to shake it up.
Yeah, because he basically speaks as though he's one of the leaders of a club, and he's playing for a contract, Dewey. Yeah. He could come out and kill it, and he could end up being a $600,000 a year player, or he could struggle, and he could be looking at a minimum salary. It's a huge moment for Dewey in his career.
Yeah, it is.
The second game,
I don't know if his future lies at the Tigers, though.
Maybe not. They got too many halves already.
Yeah, maybe Senses, but I don't know.
Yeah. The second game, Warriors Storm. SJ's back. RTS is in the extended squad at the moment, so he could be in.
Storm for me.
Storm get the win?
Yes.
Warriors starting to look a bit better, though.
They are, but I think the Storm, they got away with a victory against Newcastle in Melbourne. Obviously, then they lose their Origin players. So I imagine Bellamy will get the 2 points this week, lads. Don't muck around. I think they'll have enough.
Eels, Roosters, you've put a line through the Eels now, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You haven't?
No, mate, I'm asking you. It doesn't really matter.
They're gone. They're not playing finals.
Well,
mate, they'd have to win 9 from 11.
Yeah. Not possible? No. Okay.
No.
So you got the Chooks then for this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I hope Moses has a good game.
Yeah, so no, that it's all almost mathematically they're not I think you need to get to 13 wins. They've got 4.
Yeah.
No.
I know this is going to sound stupid. I think that's a loss for the NRL. The Eels not making finals. I think they're a finals quality team if they put things together. I think they've got enough there where they can
for roster wise.
Yeah, even that. But mate, that Dogs Eels game, it felt like watching 2 high quality finals teams going head to head.
Yeah.
They got enough there. Their spine's great. Moses on his day is the best halfback in the game on his day.
Better than Cleary.
Well, no, on his day, that's why I said. Nathan Cleary's still the best halfback in the game, but on his day, he can play.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You want the finals to be full of the best of the best, and you don't want people to limp in.
You know.
And
we got robbed of that last year. We had a lot of teams make finals that weren't going to make any noise. That went on golden runs to end the year. But anyway,
why did you do a big sigh then?
Just did, mate.
Did you feel bad about?
I just think I'd love to see
about Newcastle.
No, or Newcastle, Canberra were another one of those teams last year. The Warriors to a degree.
Don't slag off the Warriors.
Everyone hates it.
Mate, they come out.
They come out.
It's Charlie this time, guys.
Yeah. Jimmy hates the Warriors, though, guys. He's very biased against them. He's been deaf riding them. Even then today, picking the Storm. I think the Warriors win. Sunday, Seagulls, Dragons. Just quickly on this game, the Seagulls and the Dragons, they're both on that fringe on the 8. Who do you reckon's more likely to make the 8?
Oh, I think Manly. I think Manly. I think Dragons have improved out of sight, and Coach Flanagan deserves a huge amount of appreciation from Dragons fans for the immediate change in level of performance and results. Like he's shocked everybody. I don't think many people saw this coming. Like, same roster, no signings of note. Like Ray Fatalamarana. That's
Leilua. But he came
like,
mid-year last year, didn't he?
No, he came at the start of the season.
Yeah.
But like 2 edge back rowers. But yeah. Well done, Coach Flanagan. I think the Seagulls, from the start of the season where they were at, like when they beat the Roosters and they beat Souths in America and they beat Penrith, like, whoa, this is a team that can do stuff, but they've been a bit off the boil. I think they're out of those two, you back Manly. These have played each other before. Tommy Tebovic had the worst game of his life. But I think Seagulls will get the win at home.
Just before we talk about the last game, should say a big thank you to Maccas for jumping on board with the buy round. The mixed smart meal, it is amazing, Jimmy.
It is genius. It's basically done something that a lot of us have done before. Done with the one chicken and cheese, one cheeseburger. Oh, well, better get a small fries and a small drink to back that up. But then, if you want 2 cheeseburgers or 2 McChicken and cheeseburgers, you do that if you want.
Yeah.
If you don't like variety.
Yeah.
And it's a steal as well. Like I say, it's basically done what loads of us have been doing.
I lived on Macca's for a Europe trip. When I went to Europe when I was 19, I had Macca's every day for like 3 months. And this would have been perfect. It's $7. When you're traveling Europe, the budget's quite low. And $7, like $6.95, I should say, even less. Take the 5 cents, pop it in there. Ronald McDonald Foundation, they've got. Give it in, the coin.
I like you.
It is available for a limited time and excludes McDelivery. A final game then, Jimmy, Knights, Panthers. This is a game that I think the Panthers will win. They just keep on winning. They're doing things quietly this year. No one really talks about the Panthers. They don't get the attention. I know it's boring.
Yeah, that's it. But boring talking how good they are.
Is it? It's going to be the greatest team of this era. Could be already the greatest team we've ever seen in NRL history. Like, they deserve more respect.
But Charlie, that's going to come when it's over.
Yeah.
Because it's not over yet. Like, if you're a Penrith fan, you don't go out and buy the signed grand final jersey when they win 4 in a row. You just wait. Wait till it's over.
Yeah.
Like, it will be, this is something we'll look back on in 10 years' time and go, like, wow. Because it's probably the same with Manchester City in the Premier League.
Yeah.
It's just happening now, and it's like, whatever. Probably with City and with Penrith Panthers, it needs to return to a level of normality where you can't, there's 4 teams in the race, or 4 teams win it over a period of 6 years. And then we look back and we're like, wow, how competitive is that? How hard is that? How fortunate does a team need to be to stay injury-free? How can a team lose so many players and keep on cycling up and thereabouts? Like, we're going to need to wait for this to be over before we appreciate just how good it really is. But in terms of this weekend, the Knights get the win all day.
Knights get the win.
No, sorry. Penrith. Penrith.
Panthers also look like they're about to sack Taylor May. They've been meeting with him this week. Lawyer's been there. Taylor May, I think he just got a 2-year extension, about $500,000 a year. He's going through his police domestic violence charges as well at the moment. So he's part of the no-fault stand-down policy. He won't be playing rugby league anyway until at least April next year. But it looks like they're trying to sack him. Not for this. There's a few other instances he had.
Well, I was going to say it's important and like that. This isn't the reason.
Yeah, it's not, because he's got other breach notices from Penrith. They've got a case outside of the domestic violence stuff, because obviously he's not, until he gets found guilty, they can't sack him for something like that.
Yeah,
but Taylor May's career really is hanging in the balance, and the Panthers though have just found Paul Alamotti to jump in, and he looks like an absolute gun as well.
Yeah, he goes well. Alamotti again. Speak about the Brandon Smith the impact of that situation at the Roosters and how that could galvanise them. This has got the potential to put some chinks in the armour of Penrith, I guess. Maybe that's just the outsider clinging to a little bit of hope. Obviously, you hope that you look after the welfare of May and make sure he's treated correctly, and the RLPA will be all over this.
Yeah.
But this situation has the ability to break a few people that would be close to him and maybe feel unjust.
Yep.
But I guess we'll see.
We'll see. Obviously, Fisher Harris leaves at the end of this year. Luai leaves at the end of this year. That's probably enough to really galvanise the group anyway.
Yeah,
for these two boys on the way out.
Yeah.
But that's probably all we've got time for, Jimmy, I'd say.
It is. All right. We'll catch everyone next week. Don't forget the live show coming up.
Yeah. Jump on our Instagram now. Comment and enter.
All right. Brilliant. Thanks, Charlie. And just get the coffee and cookie together.
See you, Larry.
See you, mate.